What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 122, and we start today's episode off with a game against Swansea City here in the Premier League. And as you can see by the league table in just a moment's time, coming into this game with 8 games remaining, mathematically we only needed a single point to win the Premier League title. Even though there'll be 7 games left after this game, all we needed was 1 point. So yeah, we came into this game knowing that even though the title's been won for a couple of months, not mathematically, just, theoretically really, no one was going to catch us, it was still one of those games where actually I was feeling a little bit nervous knowing that I could secure it today, yes, it's been set in stone for a while now, we all know we're going to win the title, but just knowing we could actually make sure mathematically we get it done today, I was feeling a little bit nervous, but I did pick a very strong side as you saw, and the first chance did fill there, but Niang's shot was well saved by Fabianski at the near post. In the 24th minute, Taylor's on the ball for Swansea, and the left back finds Ki-Seung Young. The former Celtic midfielder's on the ball. He's looking for a pass. He finds one in Klassen, who strikes it. Hart makes the save, and then there's a bit of a scramble at the far post, and Ricardo Rodriguez gives the ball away, and Popov gives Swansea a shock lead here at the Hawthorns. And this sort of thing does happen when a club playing at home needs a point or a win to secure something. They get a little bit nervous, a little bit tense, and they do fall behind. But I certainly didn't expect it in this game, considering how well we've been playing, and a silly goal to concede as well. But in the 39th minute, well, when you need a hero, when you need someone to step up, it's usually this guy. It's Mbai Niang celebrating, and what a goal it is. We do equalise in the 39th minute. Kyle Walker launching a long ball into the box there. No wonder the team go and celebrate with Niang, and what a superb finish. Without doubt, one of the goals of the season. It's a fantastic long testing ball by Walker, and Niang with a bicycle kick right at the edge of the area there. He's got such little room to aim at, such little space to try and squeeze the ball past Fabianski, but he does so fantastically well, and Niang makes it 1-1. So we're back on level terms, and it is Mbai Niang getting his 25th goal of the Barclays Premier League season. Just extraordinary, and he makes it 1-1 there with an absolutely wonderful goal. Really nice finish. So 1-1, and as things stand, the title is going to be ours today. But in the 45th minute, we wanted to win, obviously, and in the 45th minute on the stroke of half-time, Lacazette went very close there with his shot going just wide of the post and behind. And in the second half, directly from kick-off, we ran through with Lacazette, quick little roulette past Ki-Seung Young, and a strike from outside the area going just wide of Fabianski's post. So still 1-1, but looking a lot better after we conceded that goal, to be honest, looking a lot stronger. And in the 73rd minute, well, Danny Ings, he does what he does best. He comes off the bench and scores again. This guy has taken over, the realms of what Anichebe was last year. Anichebe was our super sub. Now Ings, he rarely gets on the bench, but whenever he does, I always bring him on, and he always scores, and he does it again. Niang wins the ball back, and Danny Ings, so composed, so clinical in front of goal, gets his 3rd goal in the Premier League this season, and makes it West Brom 2, Swansea 1. So we take the lead, and we're surely going to go ahead and win the title now. And Creswell almost made it 3-1 there in the 81st minute, his shot being well saved by the former Arsenal goalkeeper and turned behind for a corner, and from that corner, Savanier crosses the ball in towards Morrison. He wins the header, but it's a great save by Fabianski, and it is turned behind for another corner. But really, after the goal Swansea scored, it was all one-way traffic. It was all West Bromwich Albion. And in the 89th minute, the last chance would fall to Swansea, trying to grab themselves an equaliser, but a header from Marlos going over the bar there and behind. And it was how the game would finish as well. So a 2-1 victory. The players walked off the pitch. They weren't celebrating. They weren't running around with their arms aloft, thinking this is the pinnacle of their careers to know we've won the title with 7 games to go. But even so, the job's done now. We knew that we were going to win the title eventually. We knew that, one day we'd see the news article saying we've mathematically won it, and because my maths is so poor, I didn't know when it would be, but I worked it out before the game, and as you can see, no real surprise after the win. We do get the news article, West Brom champions of the Barclays Premier League with 7 games to go. We've got 83 points, 26 wins and 5 draws from 31 games, so still 0 defeats as we go for, touch wood, the undefeated season. And as you can see, we got too much of a points gap on Manchester City and Chelsea in 2nd and 3rd, so they cannot catch us mathematically, even if we lose all of our games and they win all of theirs. So yeah, pretty delighted to win the title. I don't know whether this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure this is the fastest Premier League title win ever. I may be wrong. Maybe you guys can say, oh well, what about in this season when XYZ won a title with 10 games to go or whatever. I don't remember anyone winning the title as early as this. To do it with 8 games to spare, well, 7 games to spare, obviously 7 games to spare is pretty incredible. So maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the fastest Premier League title win ever. So I guess that's another record that we smashed this season, at least. I think so. So yeah, that was awesome to do that. And it just means that the next 7 games in the Premier League, the best thing about this season as well is that knowing that the next 7 games in the Premier League to take on Newcastle for the second of 3 games today, these games are still going to be really important because, yes, mathematically we have won the title and you'd say that effectively the job's done, but we still got records we want to smash. We still want to finish undefeated. We still want to set the most amount of points accumulated in the Premier League season. We still want to make sure we have the least amount of goals conceded in the Premier League season. We've still got 3 other things in the Premier League we're going for, despite the fact the title is already won. So, and again, it's just me being a sucker for the stats, really, making it a lot more interesting for me, even though the title's already won. But still, we did take on Newcastle. We did make some changes, as you'd expect. This game was being played in midweek, and we had an FA Cup semi-final to play on the weekend. And the first chance fell there, and it wasn't the first chance, but the first goal was scored here, and it came through Saido Berahino. Lovely ball into Saido, and again, Berahino does what Danny Ings does as well. He puts the ball in the back of the net, despite not getting much game time. He always scores when we need him to, and he makes it Newcastle 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. And in the 63rd minute here, Saido Berahino finds Leandro Madeira off the bench here, and Madeira gets his second goal for the club as well. Wonderful finish after Berahino turned provider for this goal, getting the assist there, and it's a wonderful finish by Madeira. It's kind of hard to see him come off the bench, but you can see him there in the background with Vukic there as he makes it 2-0. So our Brazilian 16-year-old gets another goal for the club. That's his second. Not as good as the one he scored against Sheffield Wednesday, obviously, but still a fantastic little finish there after the Berber spin, and he gets his first goal in the Premier League. So the future's really bright with this West Bromwich Albion side. There are so many good kids coming out of the academy, and Danny Ings almost made it 3-0 there with 6 minutes to go, but his volley hit the bar. But it was how the game would finish. So Newcastle 0, West Bromwich Albion 2. So another 3 points, still no defeat in the Premier League, and no goals being conceded as well. So, we are still, well, as things stand, technically on target to match all 3 of those objectives that are remaining. Whether we can go ahead and do that, I'm not entirely sure, but even so, it's really good, as Creswell did get an injury in that game. We'll be out for 3 weeks, and then we take on Spurs in the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. It's just really good knowing that, even though the title has been won, it's just, I don't know, maybe you guys aren't as interested as I am, but this sort of thing, like smashing records, beating records, is always something which I find really, really interesting and enjoyable, so it's going to be a good end of the season regardless, because it'll be a lot more tighter than people imagine. Even though the title's already won, there's still other things to play for. But yeah, we do indeed take on Spurs for the 3rd and final game of today's episode here at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. And of course, we are still hoping to pull off a treble in the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League, which has just been won this year, and we'd certainly be hoping to do so. And the FA Cup as well, of course, we haven't won it yet. We got to the final in the first season, and then City beat us in the final, and in the second and third we went out in early rounds. So to get to the semi-finals is a really good achievement, but we do want to go one step further and get into the final. But it was Spurs having the first chance of this game here, the first shot going wide, and then the second shot being saved by Joe Hart. So the London side having a bit of a better start here in London. In the 32nd minute, Henderson wins the ball back here. Spurs are on the back foot, and as Niang goes down the left-hand side, he takes on Jan Vertonghen and beats him with a double step over. Then Roulette gets taken down by Yunus Kabul. I was appealing for a penalty, but in the end I didn't even need to, because Andy Carroll got to the rebound and tucked it into the bottom corner and made it West Bromwich Albion 1, Spurs 0. So our first chance of the game there. In Kabul, I thought as well, we should have had a penalty there as Niang put the ball through his legs and then got taken down, but I guess Kabul fell backwards as well. It wasn't really too much of a strong challenge on Niang, but even so, Carroll did tuck in the rebound. That's all that matters, and he makes it 1-0. So West Brom 1, Spurs 0, and in the 39th minute here, Niang comes forward here and should have made it 2, but his shot was well saved by Vorm, and then the follow-up shot was brilliantly blocked by Kabul, getting back to his feet and keeping it at 1-0. In the 59th minute, Spurs tried to get themselves back on level terms through this corner, but as you'll see, unfortunately for us, although they do get an attempt on target away as Townsend crosses the ball in, or passes the ball, sorry, and Kabul's shot ripples the side of the net. Kevin Savanier goes down injured, and unfortunately for us, he is going to have to be substituted. So I haven't actually advanced past this stage yet, so I don't know how long Savannier's injury is going to be for. I'll have to find out in the next episode with you guys. But Savania getting an injury is never good. He's only 18 years old. I was really hopeful that he'd hit 80 come the end of the season. He's got 79 right now, and I'm hopeful that's not going to be a serious injury as Morrison comes on, and he would play no further part in this game, though. I know that, and he is off. So West Brom 1, Spurs 0. So Creswell getting injured in the last game, now Savania getting injured in this game. It's not too disastrous because Salvio is a very decent winger on the bench, but still a bit of a shame for such a young player to get himself an injury. But in the 78th minute, Danny Ings hit the post there from his shot when he really should have made it 2-0, and as Zaha shoots here, it's blocked and comes back to Ings. This time his shot looks like it's going to go in, but Michel Vorm, the former Swansea goalkeeper, makes a fantastic save and turns it over the bar. So still 1-0, and if it wasn't for Vorm, the game would have been done. And from the corner, it was headed off the line, so we kept the pressure alive. We just couldn't find the back of the net, and then Zaha's looping shot turned over the bar by the Dutch goalkeeper. So Vorm making a couple of fantastic saves later on in this game, keeping Spurs in the game as things stood, and Vestergaard's header going just over the bar. But it wouldn't matter because that was how the game would finish. West Brom 1, Spurs 0. So a bit of a tense, nervy game. We had a lot of chances, but only one goal scored. But in the end, that's all we need. We're through to the FA Cup final. Absolutely delighted with that. We'll be taking on either Aston Villa, who are our West Midland rivals, so that'll be a fantastic derby in the final, or Manchester City, who we face in the FA Cup final in the first season, so that could be a possible chance for revenge. So whoever we face, I'll be very, very pleased. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.